A lot of television channels have been successful. Many of them last long and make a huge impact on linear television, while some channels only last a couple to a few years or less. This video goes over the channels that have tried hard to make an impact. Some were successful before going downhill, while others couldn't stand on 2 feet. Here are the many examples of TV channels that either failed entirely or ended up shutting down later on after a successful run, either due to low ratings or some other business decision. First, we start off with the Dumont television network. Dumont was one of the first original television networks that existed back in the 1940s and 1950s. The network was created by Dumont Laboratories, which was a manufacturer of television sets and equipment. The network first launched on August 15, 1946, and soon expanded to have stations in 32 cities across the United States. This was possible through a coaxial cable feed that supplied the TV network to different areas in order to broadcast the programming and other TV shows. Many shows that aired on Dumont include Captain Video and His Video Rangers, Rocky King, Inside Detective, Life is Worth Living, Better Living TV Theater, the Johns Hopkins Science Review, and Window on the World, to name a few. A lot of these shows have some episodes that were archived and survived. Dumont Television Network shut down on August 6, 1956. The last program that aired was a boxing match. Most of their non-sports programming either ended or moved to other television networks, and many stations were sold to other companies, including a fallout with one of the company partners, the movie studio Paramount. Dumont even tried to merge with Paramount and ABC, but both of these mergers ended up failing, which led to the network shutting down. For over 50 years, Dumont was the first and only terrestrial television network to shut down until 2 other networks merged in the 2000s, which this video will go over later. Next up, we talk about the first cable channel on this list, the Cable Music Channel. Cable Music Channel is a short-lived music channel that was meant to be a competitor to MTV and would air more appropriate music videos when the channel was around in 1984. The channel launched on October 26, 1984 at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, with an introduction by President Robert Wessler, who is also the co-founder of CNN, including General Manager Scott Sassa, California 13th District Councilwoman for Los Angeles Peggy Stevenson, declaring October 26 Cable Music Channel Day, and Order Ted Turner.
Hello out there. Good morning from Los Angeles. Good afternoon in Atlanta, Georgia. And hello to the rest of the Western Hemisphere. My name is Robert Wessler. I'm the president of the Cable Music Channel. Ted Turner, our chairman, will be with us momentarily. But first, let me just say that delivering on cable's promise to provide new, diversified, interesting, and impact-oriented programming, Turner Broadcasting System is most proud to bring you its 4th top-quality, 24-hour-a-day, family-oriented television cable channel.
Thank you, Bob, and we'd like to thank everybody for being here so early this morning. Right now we have a special guest from the 13th District, Hollywood that is, Councilwoman Peggy Stevenson.
Thank you, and I'd like to welcome Ted Turner to Hollywood. And on behalf of Mayor Bradley and myself, I have a proclamation that says that this is Cable Music Channel Day, and I'd just like to read. Now, therefore, I, Tom Bradley, Mayor of the City of Los Angeles, on behalf of its citizens, do hereby proclaim October 26, 1984, as Cable Music Channel Day in Los Angeles, and further extend best wishes and congratulations to Ted Turner for this outstanding tribute. And this is from the Mayor and Peggy Stevenson.
This button right here looks like the rising sun, doesn't it? And how much longer before I got to push it? Push it now? Hold on a few seconds. Okay, push it. All right, here we go. Take that, MTV.
The first music video to air on the Cable Music Channel was for the song I Love L.A. by Randy Newman. The channel didn't last any longer than a month, as it was hard to find more cable operators that would carry this channel on their lineups, and most cable providers preferred to carry MTV. The channel would shut down on November 30th. 1984, with a tribute to the crew who worked on the channel, played to the first music video aired on the channel.
Well, it's not really goodbye, you know, darlings. We'll always be there somewhere, so watch this space. Say goodbye, y'all, now.
Goodbye, y'all.
Cable music channel Space would be sold to MTV and would later relaunch as VH1. Now we move on to two channels that lasted at the same time and for 11 years straight, which was the WB and UPN. The WB launched on January 11th, 1995, while UPN would launch on January 16th, 1995, 5 days later. Both those channels were created in response to the FCC's deregulation of media ownership rules and the success of Fox, which is what both of them were competing against. There was also the programming block Kids WB, which premiered on September 9th, 1995, and mainly aired on weekdays and Saturday mornings. There is already a video made on Kids WB where I go more in depth on the block, so go check it out if you haven't already. Anyway, the first shows to premiere on the WB was The Wayans Brothers, Unhappily Ever After, The Parenthood, Sister Sister, and Muscle. 4 of those 5 shows were renewed for another season, and most of those first shows were black sitcoms, with The Wayans Bros featuring Sean and Marlon Wayans, and Sister Sister featured T and Tamara Mowry, or the Mowry twins. Sister Sister originally aired on ABC before moving to the WB as a first-run show for the channel after the show was originally canceled by ABC. UPN's first shows when it launched were Star Trek Voyager, Nowhere Man, Legend, The Sentinel, and Moesha. 3 of the 4 shows would last more than 1 season, with Nowhere Man being canceled after 1 season. I guess you could say Nowhere Man went nowhere on the channel, get it? There was also a kids block known as UPN Kids that launched at the same time in 1995, which later became Disney's 1-2 in 1999, a spin-off of the Disney's One Saturday Morning block on ABC, which lasted until 2003. Despite UPN being owned by Viacom, the channel never had a Nickelodeon block. The WB later had big success in the late 90s, with shows targeted to teenagers, such as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dawson's Creek, Seventh Heaven, Roswell, and Charmed. 2 of the shows, Buffy and Roswell, would be acquired by UPN later in the run and moved to UPN in 2001. Despite some other success with shows such as Reba, Supernatural, One Tree Hill, the WB ended up falling behind the ratings. This also affected Kids WB to the point where the afternoon block was canceled. UPN had a far worse decline, but at one point the WB fell behind UPN in the ratings for the first time in 4 years. They couldn't find new shows to replace shows that got canceled. Both of the networks tied for last place in the ratings, and so on January 24, 2006, CBS and Warner Bros. Announced that UPN and the WB would merge to form the CW. Many of the shows from both those channels moved to the CW. Some UPN stations became My Network TV, while others became the CW, and most the WB stations became the CW in September of 2006. The WB shut down on September 17, 2006 with the Night of Favorites and Farewells, airing pilot episodes from the most well-known and signature series. They even aired older network promotions as well. UPN shut down around the same time, but since some stations switched to My Network TV on September 5, 2006, a lot of them didn't air the last 2 weeks of programming UPN had. But the ones that switched to CW did. The same can be said about WB stations that switched to My Network TV. UPN shut down on September 15, 2006, 2 days before the WB shut down. Up next is a music video channel that aired on antenna in some areas, where back then you could request music videos by phone and they would air the music video. This channel was known as The Box, originally known as the Video Jukebox Network, which was on cable at first and aired locally in Miami, Florida. The channel was founded by Steve Peters and mainly aired bass and hip-hop music. The Box was sold by 1990 to a group that included cable provider TCI as one of the companies. The channel hired Les Garland, a co-founder of MTV and VH1, to run The Box. Under his leadership, the channel became an interactive music channel where if you called to pay to request a song, the channel would air the music video. This was also referenced in the slogan, Music, Television, You Control. Many stations that carried The Box were low-power stations, and depending on the area, the channel was hard to pick up in certain areas. Music videos cost between 99 cents to up to $4, since the playlist would contain requested videos and people would request many times. It was common for certain videos to be aired up to 10 times within an hour. The Box was well known for airing music videos that got banned on MTV, and even aired music videos right before they started airing on MTV. The box even launched in the UK with the related offshoot service on satellite and cable. The channel would be a lot similar to the US channel, also having the same request style, but would later air their own music video blocks. Unfortunately, the box was acquired by MTV and would later shut down right before January 1st, 2001. The stations became MTV2 affiliates on antenna, with some stations today still being owned by Viacom or Paramount. The UK channel still continued running until June 30th, 2024, when it was shut down due to many channels not doing too well. With that, the box is officially shut down for good, just 23 years after the US channel shut down. G4 TV was a channel that originally had a main focus on video games. The channel launched on April 24th, 2002. Originally soft launched with a week of Pong matches, and then launched with programming on May 1st, 2002. The channel was founded by Charles Hirschhorn, a former president of Disney Television and Animation. Hoping the channel can become something for video game creators to have their own shows on there. The first shows include Icon, the documentary series about video games, Filter, G4TV.com, Cheat, and Cinematech. During 2004-2005, G4 merged with Tech TV and became G4 Tech TV. This helped bring a lot of new shows to the channel like X-Play and The Screensavers and helped the channel be picked up by more providers. But later on, the Tech TV name would be dropped, leaving it defunct, and the channel would go back to G4. By 2006 and later, G4 started doing channel drift and started airing syndicated reruns of shows like Cops and Cheaters, for example. The only video game and technology related shows that stayed are X-Play and Attack the Show. Attack the Show is formerly known as The Screensavers. The only other gaming related programming included yearly E3 coverage every summer. G4 was declining so much that providers like DirecTV and others got rid of the channel, and they were originally going to change the channel into Esquire Network in 2013. When that didn't happen, the channel was bound to shut down, considering the last two shows have ended. The channel shut down on December 31st, 2014, right before midnight, and aired the first ever thing to come on the channel, which was Pong. Very fitting to do during the shutdown. There was a revival of G4, but it only lasted a year from 2021 to 2022 and wasn't that successful. Just like music videos, you can find plenty of gaming content on the internet. Just look it up on YouTube, for example. Last but not least, we have another music video channel that also is on antenna, but mainly on digital subchannels and digital cable. This channel was the Tube Music Network. This channel was founded by Les Garland, the former president of The Box, which of course you already know is a co-founder of MTV and VH1. The network would try to attract a wider audience than MTV by airing new and old music videos from past decades. The channel launched in 2005 and unfortunately only lasted 2 years because of problems getting stations to pick up the channel, and for the fact that not everyone had newer TVs with digital tuners or converter boxes yet, so they could pick up digital channels. The network shut down October 1st, 2007 at 6 a.m., with the last video played being Alabama 3's Woke Up This Morning. A bunch of other reasons, including financial limitations, was also the reason this network shut down. I think this network would have done a lot better if it launched later on when analog television was going to shut down and digital tuners and converter boxes were more common. Because back in the mid-2000s, getting a digital tuner for an old TV was difficult due to price, and not everyone can get digital cable. Well, that was about it for my overview of certain TV channels that either failed or had a successful run and then shut down. Let me know what you think of a list of channels. And if you want more videos either on television channels, TV shows, and other types of media, including history of other things, just subscribe to this channel if you want. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope to get more videos out. I really do apologize for the wait, considering my old laptop broke and I had to wait to get a new laptop. So I do apologize for the long hiatus. But I'm back. And I have some better ideas for videos, and you won't have to wait months for it, hopefully. Anyways, that'll be about all for this video. This has been Rick from the Nostalgia Network, and I'm out.